Sometimes, we forget that even the most talented actors are still human, capable of feeling emotions like anyone else. This becomes clear when we learn that some of Hollywood's top co-stars had intense dislike for each other off-camera. Despite their incredible on-screen chemistry and memorable performances, once the cameras were off, tension and discomfort often took over. It's a reminder that while their acting skills may be top-notch, the dynamics behind the scenes are not always as smooth as they appear in front of the camera. This human side of the industry is often hidden, leaving us to question how two individuals can share such a bond on screen while harboring ill feelings in real life. Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic, despite their undeniable chemistry on screen in Castle, had a very different dynamic behind the scenes. Their relationship was often marked by tension, and rumors circulated for years that their off-screen animosity played a significant role in Katic's eventual departure from the show. While they portrayed a perfect partnership as Castle and Beckett, their personal relationship was far from perfect. The friction between them seemed to grow as the show progressed, leading to reports of disagreements and even publicized fallout. The situation was further complicated when Katic was abruptly written out of the show ahead of its final season. Many fans were left to wonder if the rumors about the rift between the two actors were true, and how much that might have influenced the decision to end the beloved series. Some speculated that the tension between Fillion and Katic contributed to the decision not to renew the show for another season, which ultimately led to its cancellation. Despite this, both actors continued to find success in their careers post-Castle, but the drama surrounding their relationship remained a topic of discussion among fans and in the media for some time. Sophia Bush and Chad Michael Murray had a difficult time working together on One Tree Hill after their brief marriage ended in divorce. Their personal relationship fell apart, but they still had to continue collaborating as co-stars on the show for several years. This made their working environment quite tense and uncomfortable at times. Their split, which came after only 5 months of marriage, caused tension between them on set. Despite the awkwardness, both of them continued to play key roles in the series, and their characters, Lucas and Brooke, still had to share scenes together. This dynamic became even more strained as the seasons went on. After season 6, Chad Michael Murray left the show, but the tension between him and Sophia Bush had a lasting impact on how the two co-stars interacted, both on and off the screen. Their personal differences made it hard for them to hide their feelings, and while they didn't share the same level of animosity publicly, it was clear that working together after their divorce was far from easy. During the filming of The Vampire Diaries, Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder's real-life breakup became a subject of interest for many fans. Despite their separation, the two actors managed to maintain a professional relationship on set. They continued to work together as Elena and Damon respectively, keeping their personal lives separate from their on-screen portrayals. However, rumors did circulate that the end of their romantic relationship was not entirely amicable, adding an extra layer of drama to their already intense on-screen chemistry. Fans speculated about the challenges they may have faced working together after their breakup, especially given the close and passionate relationship between their characters. Still, both Nina and Ian continued to focus on their roles, ensuring that the show remained as captivating as ever. As the years went by, they appeared to have moved past any tensions, showing mutual respect for one another. Their ability to work together professionally despite their personal history is a testament to their maturity and dedication to their craft. The behind-the-scenes dynamics, though not widely discussed, added a subtle complexity to the public's perception of the couple. Over time, both actors have continued to thrive in their careers, with Ian focusing on environmental activism and Nina pursuing a variety of projects. During the filming of 50 Shades of Grey, the on-screen relationship between Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson was filled with tension. Despite their undeniable chemistry in front of the camera, off-screen, the two actors had very little connection. This lack of chemistry outside of the film was a topic of discussion among both fans and critics alike. Some people even believe that this tension between the two may have affected their performances, particularly in the more intimate scenes of the movie. The critics pointed out that, while the movie was filled with steamy moments, the interactions between Jamie and Dakota often seemed somewhat distant, which many felt took away from the intensity that the film was meant to deliver. Their on-set dynamic was far from the passionate romance that was depicted on screen, and the strained relationship became a point of curiosity for those following the production. Fans often speculated about their off-screen rapport, with some wondering whether the chemistry was truly absent or if it was just a natural consequence of the intense roles they were playing. Despite these tensions, the film went on to become a major box office success. But the awkwardness between Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson during filming remained a notable aspect of the movie's behind-the-scenes stories. During the making of An Officer and a Gentleman, Deborah Winger and Richard Gere reportedly had significant conflicts on set. Winger, who played opposite Gere, found him difficult to communicate with, and their personal disagreements were well known among the cast and crew. Despite their off-screen tensions, the two actors delivered a powerful on-screen romance that captivated audiences. Their performances were widely praised, and Winger even earned an Oscar nomination for her role in the film. The chemistry between the two on screen was undeniable, but it was clear that their relationship behind the scenes was anything but smooth. It's hard to believe that such an iconic on-screen couple had such a troubled dynamic off-screen, but their ability to channel their personal differences into their performances helped make An Officer and a Gentleman one of the most memorable films of the 1980s. Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte had a highly publicized and intense dislike for one another while filming I Love Trouble. Their tension on set was so noticeable that it affected their ability to work together. They were unable to share scenes together, which led to many of their scenes being filmed separately. In fact, when physical interaction was required, body doubles were used to portray the necessary exchanges between their characters. The animosity between the two actors was widely reported, and it became one of the more infamous examples of on-set tension in Hollywood. Despite their personal differences, the film eventually made it to theaters, but the behind-the-scenes dynamics between Roberts and Nolte left a lasting impression on both the cast and crew. The situation between them remained a point of discussion for years, adding a layer of complexity to what was otherwise a standard romantic comedy. Despite the animosity, both actors continued their careers, but the making of I Love Trouble remains a notable example of how personal conflicts can affect the filmmaking process. Sharon Stone and William Baldwin's relationship on the set of Sliver was anything but friendly. The two actors famously did not get along, with their animosity reaching a peak during one of the movie's kissing scenes. The tension was so high that Sharon Stone reportedly bit William Baldwin's tongue during the scene, leaving him unable to speak for an entire week. This incident encapsulated the underlying conflict between the two, as they struggled to maintain professionalism in front of the cameras despite their personal dislike. Despite their on-screen chemistry, it was clear that their off-screen relationship was far from ideal. Stone's strong personality and Baldwin's behavior clashed, making the set an uncomfortable environment for both of them. The incident became one of the most talked about moments of the film's production, overshadowing much of the actual work they were doing. It's hard to believe that the two could go from such intense hostility to appearing in a film together at all, but their professional lives remained intertwined, even if their personal relationship never quite improved. Jason Alexander once opened up about the difficult relationship he had with co-star Heidi Sweetberg while filming Seinfeld. The two actors, who played George Costanza and Susan Ross, had a poor on-screen chemistry that caused tensions behind the scenes. Alexander shared that his discomfort with Sweetberg was a key factor in the decision to write her character out of the show. He explained that this issue wasn't just limited to him, as other members of the cast also felt the same way about their interactions. As a result, Susan's character was ultimately written off, much to the surprise of many viewers. Despite the initial frustration, Alexander later admitted that he regretted how things played out between them. He reflected on how the negative experience affected the dynamics of the set, and expressed a sense of remorse for the situation. This revelation shed light on the behind-the-scenes struggles of one of the most iconic sitcoms in television history, highlighting how sometimes personal differences can influence the direction of a show. Despite working together on Tomorrow Never Dies, Pierce Brosnan often found himself frustrated by Terry Hatcher's frequent tardiness on set. He did not understand why she was consistently late, and this repeated delay began to create tension and misunderstandings between them. The situation seemed unprofessional to Brosnan, who valued punctuality and smooth coordination during filming, making the atmosphere on set strained at times. However, the truth behind Hatcher's lateness was something Brosnan was completely unaware of. Her delays were not due to carelessness or disregard for the production, but were caused by morning sickness from her pregnancy. This natural condition made it difficult for her to maintain a regular schedule in the early hours of the day. Yet the cast and crew, including Brosnan, were initially unaware of her situation. The misunderstanding highlights how personal circumstances can affect professional relationships, especially in high-pressure environments like movie sets. Over time, once the reason for Hatcher's tardiness became clear, the tension could have eased, and the misunderstanding would serve as a reminder of the importance of empathy and communication between co-stars. The dynamic between Brosnan and Hatcher shows that behind every disagreement, there can be unseen challenges affecting behavior and interactions, and it emphasizes how easily misinterpretations can occur without full context. During the filming of Mad Max Fury Road, Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy experienced a challenging relationship that created a lot of tension on set. This tension was a key element in their performances, as their characters in the film also struggled to connect with each other. Hardy and Theron had a turbulent time working together, with reports suggesting that they clashed both personally and professionally. These clashes, however, ended up benefiting the movie, as the tension between the actors translated into a raw and authentic portrayal of their characters' conflict and mistrust. The friction between the two co-stars mirrored the fraught relationship between their characters, making the on-screen dynamic feel more genuine. Their personal difficulties on set were not uncommon in the high-stress environment of a large action film production, but in this case, they added a layer of realism that helped make Mad Max Fury Road even more impactful. Despite the challenges they faced while filming, both actors managed to deliver unforgettable performances that have since become iconic in the world of cinema. Their working relationship on 24 was far from smooth. Kiefer Sutherland and Freddie Prinze Jr. had a difficult time on set, with Prinze publicly voicing his frustrations about Sutherland's attitude. Prinze criticized Sutherland for being unprofessional during their time together on the show. He revealed that Sutherland's behavior made the work environment tense and uncomfortable, something that left a lasting impact on him. At one point, Prinze even considered quitting the show due to these tensions. Despite this, they continued their work together, though the animosity lingered. Prinze's comments about the situation shed light on the challenges of working in an environment where personal clashes can affect professional collaboration. Their strained relationship was a stark contrast to the camaraderie often portrayed in the media about co-stars getting along. For Prinze, it was a significant and difficult experience in his career, one that he openly shared years later. Charlie Sheen and Selma Blair's relationship, while working together on anger management, was far from smooth. Their working dynamic took a downturn after Blair expressed her frustration with Sheen's constant tardiness on set. Sheen, known for his often unpredictable behavior, was regularly late, which caused disruptions to the production schedule. Blair, understandably upset, voiced her concerns about his lack of professionalism. This led to a strained relationship between the two. As tensions escalated, Sheen reportedly demanded that Blair be fired from the show, creating a hostile work environment. Despite the drama, Blair's complaints about Sheen's behavior ultimately led to her departure from the series. The situation was made more complex by Sheen's public comments about the issue, which only added fuel to the fire. Their once professional relationship quickly turned sour, leaving many in the industry shocked by the intensity of the fallout. This marked a significant moment in Sheen's career, further cementing his reputation for unpredictable behavior and turbulent on-set relationships. It was a classic example of how personal conflicts between co-stars can affect the show's production and the public's perception of the individuals involved. Harrison Ford and Sean Young had a notably difficult working relationship on the set of Blade Runner. Young later described Ford as cold and unapproachable, which created tension between the two during filming. Despite their strained dynamic, their performances in the film were widely praised, and the movie went on to become a sci-fi classic. The on-screen chemistry they portrayed was convincing enough to make their characters memorable, but off-screen, the atmosphere was less than ideal. The tension between them highlighted the contrast between the nature of their professional roles and their personal interactions. Nonetheless, their work in Blade Runner remains a significant part of both of their careers. Kaley Cuoco and Johnny Galecki's off-screen romance during The Big Bang Theory was not without its complications. They initially kept their relationship private, which added to the mystery around their connection. However, things took a turn when Cuoco began a new relationship, and tensions between the two co-stars started to grow. The situation became even more strained as rumors surfaced, claiming that Cuoco was difficult to work with. This fueled speculation about the state of their relationship both on and off-screen. Despite the on-screen chemistry they maintained throughout the series, their real-life interactions were far less harmonious. The once strong bond between them began to unravel, leaving behind an awkward dynamic as the show continued. Over time, Cuoco and Galecki managed to work through their differences professionally, but the tension was still palpable in certain moments. This behind-the-scenes drama was a stark contrast to the lighthearted and playful personas their characters, Penny and Leonard, portrayed. While they both continued to excel in their careers after The Big Bang Theory, their off-screen relationship was a far cry from the idealized partnerships often seen on television. During the filming of The Tourist, Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie were known to have frequent disagreements on set. Depp saw Jolie as a snob, while she viewed him as a mess. Despite their differences, both actors maintained a high level of professionalism throughout the process. They completed the film without letting their personal issues affect their work. This tension between them was evident to those who were close to the production, but it didn't prevent the film from being made. Their ability to separate their personal feelings from their work was crucial to finishing the project, and their dedication to their roles as professional actors was undeniable. While their on-screen chemistry was praised, the behind-the-scenes dynamic was far from perfect. The public might have seen them as a glamorous on-screen couple, but the reality was that their relationship was much more complicated. Ultimately, their professionalism and commitment to the craft allowed them to pull through despite their clashing personalities. Despite their talent, Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio faced challenges while working together on the film Romeo and Juliet. Danes found some of DiCaprio's playful behavior to be immature, which created tension on set. On the other hand, DiCaprio felt that Danes was too reserved in her approach to acting. Their differing styles could have created a significant obstacle, yet both actors maintained a level of professionalism that allowed them to overlook their differences. They focused on their roles, delivering a powerful performance that resonated with audiences. Through their collaboration, they brought Shakespeare's tragic love story to life, showing that even when two actors do not fully connect on a personal level, they can create something beautiful together in their craft. This dynamic illustrates how professional actors can set aside their personal feelings to achieve a common goal, resulting in a successful film that has endured in popular culture. Their experience on this film is a reminder of how complex relationships can be in the acting world. Despite their incredible on-screen chemistry in The X-Files, the working relationship between Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny was not always smooth. Their scenes together captivated audiences, but behind the camera, things were quite different. As they spent countless hours filming, tensions began to rise, leading to frequent arguments. Many of these disagreements arose from the pressures of the show, as both actors faced the demands of their roles, and the expectations of fans and producers alike. The intensity of their characters, Mulder and Scully, contributed to the stress. Over time, personal differences also came to the surface, making it challenging for them to maintain a cordial relationship. While they eventually found a way to navigate their differences and collaborate on the show, their rocky interactions became a topic of interest for fans. The complexities of their connection remind us that even those who create brilliant art can struggle with personal dynamics. Often, behind the scenes of beloved movies, personal tensions can lead to memorable performances. Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey starred together in the classic film Dirty Dancing, which captivated audiences with its romance and dance sequences. However, it is intriguing to note that their relationship was not as harmonious off-screen. Patrick Swayze often found himself irritated by Jennifer Grey's behavior while filming. Their differences in working styles may have created some tension during production. Despite these personal conflicts, they managed to deliver a stunning performance that resonated with fans around the world. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, becoming a hallmark of the film that won numerous accolades and remains beloved to this day. The way they embodied their characters, Baby and Johnny, allowed viewers to overlook their off-screen struggles. This juxtaposition of real-life conflict and cinematic magic adds depth to their performances, reminding us that even in moments of disagreement, great art can emerge. During the filming of Charlie's Angels, a notable incident occurred between Bill Murray and Lucy Liu. It began when Murray made a remark that Liu felt was offensive. The comment struck a nerve, resulting in heightened tensions between the two. As tempers flared, the situation escalated to the point of a physical confrontation on set. The tension became palpable, causing a need for intervention. Crew members had to step in to separate them, highlighting just how serious the disagreement had become. This altercation became a well-known anecdote in Hollywood, illustrating that not all on-screen chemistry translates to off-screen harmony. Despite their differences and the difficulties they faced, The film eventually went on to become a success. Both actors moved forward with their careers, but the incident remains a striking example of how personalities can clash in the high-pressure environment of film production. The complexity of such situations reminds us that even the most talented individuals may not always see eye to eye. Despite the charm and charisma that both actors brought to the screen, their time together on the set of Picture Perfect was fraught with tension and disappointment. Jennifer Aniston, a rising star at that time, expressed her disapproval when she learned that Jay Moore would be joining the cast. The role he was set to play was one she had strong feelings about, and she believed that casting Moore was not the best choice for the film. This situation left him feeling devastated and affected his confidence. Hollywood can be a tough place, especially for newcomers, and Moore was already grappling with his own struggles to find his footing in an industry known for its high stakes and fierce competition. The dynamic between them became a topic of interest, as audiences saw the performances on screen, but were unaware of the underlying friction. Their relationship during filming was far from friendly, making the chemistry they displayed in the movie even more surprising to those who later learned about their real-life feelings toward one another. To this day, their time together serves as a reminder of how the pressures of the film industry can impact personal relationships, illustrating a complex blend of emotions. During the making of The Notebook, Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams famously had a rocky relationship. Their disagreements were often intense, reflecting the turbulent romance of their characters. Though they had good chemistry on camera, behind the scenes, their clashes were well known. Reports claim they argued frequently, creating a tense atmosphere on set. These conflicts mirrored the passionate yet complicated love story they portrayed. Despite their struggles during filming, something changed after the camera stopped rolling. After completing The Notebook, they began dating, and their relationship lasted for 2 years. This surprising shift from fighting to romance captivated fans, and showed that sometimes passion can lead to unexpected outcomes. The intensity they brought to their roles might have stemmed from their real-life emotions. Their journey illustrates that even well-known couples may face struggles, yet they can also find common ground and affection through shared experiences. Such complexity in relationships keeps people intrigued by their story, even years later. Despite their performances in A Change of Seasons, Anthony Hopkins and Shirley MacLaine had a tumultuous relationship behind the scenes. While filming, their constant disagreements created a tense atmosphere, making it hard for the crew and other cast members. Hopkins was very vocal about his feelings, even going so far as to call MacLaine one of the most annoying actresses he had ever worked with. The friction between them was palpable, with each clash further inflating the discomfort on set. Arguments became so frequent that they overshadowed the film's production. Many wondered how such tensions could exist, especially when both actors are profoundly talented and have worked successfully with others. However, this situation reminded everyone that even skilled actors are human and can find it difficult to collaborate with certain individuals. The contrast between their on-screen chemistry and off-screen animosity paints a fascinating picture of the complexities of filmmaking and personal relationships. During the filming of A Countess from Hong Kong, Sophia Loren faced a troubling situation with her co-star Marlon Brando. In her autobiography, she revealed that Brando inappropriately touched her, which created a tension-filled atmosphere on set. This incident deeply affected their working relationship, leading to discomfort for Loren as she tried to navigate the complexities of being professional in such a challenging situation. Both actors had to continue their roles, but the underlying tension lingered, impacting the dynamic of the movie and the interactions between them. Despite their on-screen chemistry, the discomfort in their personal rapport became evident, showcasing the difficulties that can arise when personal boundaries are violated. The strain of these experiences often overshadows the artistic collaboration that is expected in film production. Loren's brave disclosures highlight the importance of respecting personal space and the profound impact that such incidents can have on both personal and professional relationships in the entertainment industry. Shannen Doherty and Jason Lee had a tense relationship while filming Mallrats. Lee found Doherty to be rude and unpleasant during their time on set. Despite their undeniable on-screen chemistry in the film, their personal interactions were less than amicable. This contrast between their professional dynamic and off-screen relationship highlights the often complex and challenging nature of working relationships in the entertainment industry. While audiences could see the chemistry between their characters, the reality behind the scenes was quite different, with Doherty's behavior leaving Lee feeling uncomfortable. Their experience on Mallrats is an example of how not all co-stars get along, even when their characters are portrayed as being close or romantically involved. This kind of off-screen tension is not uncommon in Hollywood, where personalities can clash and create difficult working environments. Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep had a difficult and tense working relationship while filming Kramer vs. Kramer. During the production of the film, Streep accused Hoffman of being overly harsh and aggressive with her, creating a strained atmosphere between the two. One of the most notable incidents involved a scene where Hoffman was required to slap Streep, but he reportedly slapped her harder than necessary. This moment added to the tension, with Streep later speaking about the experience, expressing how uncomfortable and hurt she felt by Hoffman's actions. Despite their personal differences during the filming, both actors delivered iconic performances in the film, which ultimately won numerous awards, including Oscars. However, the emotional and professional difficulties they faced on set were not easily forgotten. Their relationship during the making of Kramer vs. Kramer serves as a reminder of how intense and challenging the process of filmmaking can sometimes be, especially when strong personalities clash. It is hard to imagine how the two stars, known for their incredible acting talents, managed to work together under such conditions. Yet they both continued to thrive in their respective careers. Kate Beckinsale was not shy about expressing her frustration with her vacancy co-star, Luke Wilson. She described him as a diva, making it clear that she was displeased with his on-set behavior during the filming of the 2007 thriller. Despite the tension, the two actors had to work closely together for months, a situation that surely added to the strain. Kate's comments shed light on how challenging the working relationship was at the time, though it didn't seem to affect their professional duties in the end. The fact that they were able to continue working on the film despite their differences shows a level of professionalism that likely helped to maintain the film's success. Even though they didn't get along personally, they were able to set aside their differences to bring their respective characters to life in a compelling way. In the world of movie making, actors often share intense experiences. Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn faced quite a few challenges while making Four Christmases. Vaughn's style was spontaneous, as he loved to improvise lines, bringing his unique flair to scenes. This approach, however, didn't sit well with Witherspoon. She preferred a different method, favoring the script and the words written by the writers. This difference in working styles led to frequent clashes between the two during the filming process. They often had heated arguments as Vaughn would go off script, trying to add his touch, while Witherspoon aimed to maintain the original dialogue, believing it served the story better. Despite the tension on set, they managed to complete the film, and their contrasting styles ultimately contributed to the dynamic of their characters on screen. Their journey during filming shows how two creative minds can struggle, but still bring a story to life in their own ways. On the set of Some Like It Hot, Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis had a strained and complicated relationship that sparked interest among both fans and film enthusiasts. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, but behind the scenes, things were far less harmonious. Curtis, frustrated with Monroe's unpredictability and the challenges of working with her, once famously compared kissing her to kissing Hitler. While this remark stirred controversy, it was reportedly said out of frustration rather than any real hatred. Monroe was known for her difficult behavior on set, often being late, forgetting lines, or struggling with the pressure of her image. Curtis, on the other hand, was an established actor, but found it hard to deal with Monroe's emotional and professional issues. Despite this, both actors delivered unforgettable performances in Some Like It Hot, which would later become one of the greatest comedies in Hollywood history. The tension between them, however, is often remembered as part of the legend of the film, adding layers to the story behind the scenes. In the end, it's remarkable how the actors in these situations can separate their personal emotions from their professional roles. While the audience sees the chemistry and bond that seem effortless, it's a stark reminder of the complexity of human relationships. These co-stars prove that even in the most glamorous settings, conflicts can arise, making their on-screen performances even more impressive. It's a testament to their skill and professionalism that they were able to portray such deep connections despite the tension between them off-screen. This aspect of the industry often goes unnoticed, but it sheds light on the challenges actors face in their personal and professional lives. The next time we watch our favorite films or TV shows, we might look at the characters differently, knowing that the magic we see on screen can sometimes be the result of hard work, compromise, and overcoming real-life differences.